coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, a lot's been going on. We've been super busy.
Yeah, it's been fun.
New cabin owners. Cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I just don't know what we're going to do for sofa and table by the fireplace.
Yeah.
It's a little bit difficult to figure that one out and to make it look cozy. Mm-hmm. The layout is a little bit weird for that with the fireplace.
With the fire, yeah.
But for people just staying the night, it's perfect. Because you got the kitchen table.
Yeah.
But if you want to, be a week there and sit by the fireplace in the evenings nicely, and I don't know.
Yeah, and the thing is that because you can sleep quite a few people, you've got the double bed if we were to put bunk beds in one room and then another bed in that room, so say you had 5 or 6 people max.
Yeah.
Then you also need place for them to sit in the evening together, So we also have to think about that.
But then you do have the kitchen table for that.
That's true. And it's you've got 2 extensions eaves on the end that you can make it really long. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's no problem for that. You can have a large family there.
Yeah. Make sure it's got cushions that are nice and soft to sit on.
Yeah. That's the only thing. If you have a lot, then I don't know where you put a sofa. If you need space for a big family to sit at a dining table.
Yeah.
So, like I say, maybe it just needs to be a couple of comfy chairs or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting, and now winter's here.
Yeah, winter is here. It was -1 in the car this morning, taking the girls to school.
Yeah.
-1!
Yeah, it's over.
Had to scrape the car, scrape the windscreen.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first for this coming winter.
Hunting out the jackets, thick jackets, and...
Oh, that was quite stressful this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Suddenly we're like, okay, maybe we don't have the right clothes for our kids ready.
No, just thin summer jackets and jumpers is not really enough anymore.
No, not at all. And I ran into the greenhouse and quickly picked the last pumpkins, butternut squash and the spinach before that froze.
Yeah, the spinach is already looking a little bit sad, but we can salvage some of what's left.
Yeah, sad, but it was still feeling firm. It didn't go mushy, so I think it's fine. It's just because we picked it now and it needs to do something. We need to do something with it.
So the only thing we've got left in the greenhouse now is the celery, right?
Yeah, that we want to pick urgently, and then we have...
Brussels sprouts, of course, but they keep growing.
Hopefully. There's cabbages as well that I think we should just pick.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a couple that are good.
Yeah.
Big, anyway.
Yeah, I saw one in particular that was really big.
Yeah, so that's nice as well.
Yeah, that would be nice. I like cabbage.
Then we have a couple of celeriac roots as well.
Okay.
I really don't know if they grew big enough. I don't have a lot of faith in that. Because that hasn't worked for us yet. Because I think it needs quite a long season.
Yeah.
However, this time I did grow it inside.
Yes.
Whereas the first time we grew it directly, I think, outside.
Outside in Stormont,
It outside straight away, right?
It didn't really grow into a big bulb. It was just...
It's just a shame because the whole year it had these nice celery, stalks on it.
Yeah.
But then we picked it and it was like, oh,
Just
a
that's it.
very small bit of it. It was nothing that you could really make anything with. Yeah, and then we are working. It puts into perspective these cold mornings that we're having now, of how quick winter can suddenly be here now. Because I'm really feeling a little bit stressed now about this trench that I'm digging to the barn.
Yeah, because now the ground is going to start to get hard and cold and hard.
And what if it snows one day and all your dirt and earth covered in snow? Are you going to lay pipes then in the trench? But okay, the outlook isn't too bad for the coming week. It's going to be dry.
Yeah,
so
there's going to be it predicts at least 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
It was 6, but now it's gone down to 4 of precipitation-free weather, shall we say. No rain.
Dry.
Yeah. So hopefully it stays that way and you can just at least finish with the hole.
Yeah.
And I expect laying the pipe, what's it, 15 millimeter?
Well, what are you trying?
Laying the pipe, it shouldn't take too long.
15 millimeter.
Isn't that the size of the one that you bought? Black one?
Was it 5? That was the small ones, you mean? I mean,
150
15.
millimeter, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. It's like this.
15 centimeters. Let's just talk in
It's
centimeters.
like this thick.
Yes.
That's quite a fat pipe, but it's
Yeah.
got 2 pipes in that, which are for the hot water circulation from and to the wood chip boiler. Bringing the hot water, because the wood chip boiler will be in the barn.
Yeah.
And we'll bring it here to the buffer tank, which we barely managed to get down the stairs the other day.
Yes.
And then there it will hold 500 liters around that of hot water. It's going to be incredible, because now this morning I was just having a shower, and it's cold in the cellar, so that thing is struggling to keep the water hot for as long as it did when it was warmer weather. And and it's working hard and using a huge amount of electricity for that as well, of course. So
yeah, that's a problem.
this thing is definitely going to be a game changer for a larger family that we are now.
Yeah.
Because we're already going to struggle in winter with just having 2 showers in a row,
Yes.
let alone 4.
Yeah, because then I have to think, oh, don't do the dishes for too long.
Yeah.
Keep the precious hot water.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that boiler downstairs, of course, is running purely on electricity that we're paying for.
Yeah.
Whereas the wood chip boiler, we're going to chuck in a giant stack of wood chips, and that's going to continually keep it warm. So it's going to save a lot of energy.
And it should really only use electricity to send this hot water around on this little circulation pump that we'll be buying for it.
Ah, yeah.
And every time it uses the auger to bring the wood chips into the furnace, where it burns it, that uses around 400 watts. So that's compared to the electric boiler, which I think can easily use 2 kilowatts if it's really running hard. And even when it's sitting idle, it will still use it from time to time, because it's always leaking heat.
Yeah, of course.
It's a huge amount. I mean, it partially runs on partially runs on the solar panels, the electric boiler. But with the little sun that we're having now, it's nowhere near enough of what you would need. You need a ton of solar panels and a massive battery pack. And then you might run only your boiler on it.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing else.
Yeah. So that's been keeping us busy. And,
yes, and digging the hole has been difficult because it rained a lot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And now the sides of the hole have caved in.
Partially.
Partially.
Not the whole trench. I've dug maybe 25 meters, almost 30 meters long.
Maybe
No.
over half.
20. Half it was 40 meters long.
Yeah.
So 20. Not more than that. And because there's giant rocks in it, which is now I'm really at a patch. That's what I hit a patch of boulders that are really stuck. I think probably never touched. It's just been there since the Ice Age or something, or forever how long.
Maybe.
And I've just been digging those out and hitting this. Because the bucket isn't super wide on the digger, on our tractor. And so I'm digging down, and then where I'm hitting these boulders lower down, they're kind of sticking into the wall. And so when I'm digging that out, part of the wall comes out. So I've got this, shape like that at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was okay, but with all the rocks going on top and then the rain coming, that weight and the rain just suddenly, one morning we woke up and it had collapsed.
Yeah, so now the hole is like twice as wide as it was when you dug it.
And so I've kind of shot myself in the foot with how I've been digging it, because now I can't reach the hole from the side, the trench, because I've been putting the dirt on the side. Mm-hmm. So I can't just drive there, and I'd have to move the dirt first again.
Yeah.
And I can't really back up over the trench because it is scary, because if it can collapse from just rain, of course a tractor is not going to hold the tractor either.
I mean, how else could you have done it though? Because
I could have put the dirt on the other side, and then I could have just driven up with the tractor and the backhoe, because now I've got it on the side where I can't drive up there. The thing is, on one side is the dugout garden, and it's only 3 meters wide, so I cannot go there with the tractor anyway. That's too risky. I could have been putting the dirt there. The reason why I didn't put the dirt on that side is so that I could easily come with the front loader and shove it all back in.
When you're finished, yeah.
However, now I'm thinking, when that is finished, do I want to be shoving all these heavy rocks just down that 2-meter hole on top of these nice new pipes that I bought?
No.
Because some of these can, of course, these rocks can crush it.
Oh, easily.
So first, anyway, you're gonna have to put layers of sand in between the pipes anyway, that we do. But then I still don't feel good about just chucking it all back in.
No, because
So I'm
some of them are like, you know, this
Oh
big,
yeah,
giant.
absolutely, this big, massive, and jaggedy. You know,
Yes, they
they've been
are.
underneath. They're like close to what you would call bedrock, I would imagine, and that is just so sharp edges. They've not been smoothed over by water or ice age, what friction glaciers. And the thing, so if I would have put it on the other side of the trench, what I could do then is I could back up and go with the backhoe and just easily lower it down into the trench, the dirt.
Okay.
And then just release it just above the pipes instead of it dropping from 2 meters high.
I see.
In hindsight, that might have been better. Now I can still do it because of how I had to dig it. Some dirt is on the other side, so I can do that with some parts, but with other parts I haven't done it. So it's easier going with the front loader, shoving it with big scoops.
If it was just dirt, sandy dirt, it would be fine. But
it looks like I might just have to do it with the backhoe. I would feel a lot safer about it. I've been lying awake about that at night.
It's like a lot of things on the homestead, you know, it's a job that you think, well, okay, digging a hole, I've got a tractor, it should be easy.
Yeah,
you know,
let's
and it
go.
always takes longer than you think because there's some unanticipated.
Yeah. Now I know. Next time I'm digging a trench, I know.
Yeah.
I've never done it here. I've never dug a trench ever. Not with a tractor.
Not with a tractor, never, no.
So
yeah, it's taken a bit longer than we had anticipated. And at the beginning it went so smoothly, you know. You did like 4 meters in 2 hours or something
really
like
quick.
that.
Yeah, and now I'm
So we
struggling.
were like, well, okay, another few days and we're done.
Yeah.
But no, it's not meant to be.
The thing, the tractor is working really well. Very happy with it. Quite amazing for it to be from 65. I always forget what year it's from.
Yeah,
1965.
I think so, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a long time ago.
It's incredible what it does and
Yeah.
how well it still runs. But it's going slower, and it doesn't have the power, of course, of newer machinery. So it's like I was telling
hydraulics are
you.
going slower.
Yeah, like I was telling you, I could speed it up. I could up the revs on the tractor, and it would go faster. But then it's also very jumpy.
Yeah.
And I'm working around the lamppost that we've got, and yeah, it's just not worth it, you know. And then if you go down suddenly, you go like this, and you smash the teeth on stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's not good for
it's not good for long term. Use.
Yeah.
Gonna run through buckets quickly like that, I
it needs
think.
to last us because we can't just go out and buy another one.
Well, yeah. It's difficult for an old tractor, it seems, because not everything fits the same way as modern buckets do. Like I was looking for a snowplow for this winter, and the attachments that they come with none of them fit what we have.
No.
So what you can then do is you can weld a plate on it that then these things would fit on. So, which could be interesting if we're going to keep this tractor, for future attachments, then maybe that's something I have to do. But a snowplow, that sounded pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's gonna save a lot of time if I would get that.
Yeah, because to go around the homestead this size with a snowblower, I mean, we've seen the viewers, hopefully have seen all the videos from last winter of you going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then to go up and down the 200-meter driveway, you have to do it at least 4 times.
3 times.
3, okay.
3 times up and down, so it's 6
Yeah.
goes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whereas if you did it with the tractor, it would be up and down, and then you would be done. So it saves a lot of time.
And it would be fast because, of course, it's snowblower. You have to go slowly. Especially if you had a night of a lot of snowfall.
Yeah.
There's some days where I have to do it twice.
Yes.
And then there's if a snow plow comes at the end of the driveway and shoves a ton of snow, then that is more compact and really heavy, and I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Then, of course, I have the front loader on the tractor, for which we now have ordered snow chains, finally.
Yeah, today. Yep.
So I will have no problem with this winter moving bigger patches of snow. You know, I can lift it and take it out the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Then you need to clear it first. And
the amount of time it would save would be pretty nice.
I was going to say something there. No, it's gone.
Gone?
Something about moving the snow. But yeah, that would save a lot of time and fuel as well to go up and down.
So these snow chains, it's we should have had that last winter already. Because what if something crazy happens? You saw the 2 winters ago when there was so much snow. The walls were so high that every time the wind blew,
That's what
it wasn't
I was
even
going to
snowing.
say. You get snow drifts as well, because where there are no trees, when you get to the field part, it's so exposed and the wind comes rushing through, and then the snow gets higher than the snow blower.
Yeah, and towards the end of the season, I think I had to go every time the wind blew a little bit. I had to go with the snowblower. She could not ram through that with the car. It was that high.
Yeah.
So it's if that happens and it's too high for us, you never know. There have been freak storms here in the past that somebody was telling us, Anders was telling us that that has really tested houses, crushed houses, because they were just not built correctly for that much snowfall. You just don't know. It can happen. I mean, we've had some crazy rainfall this summer.
Really.
And,
I mean, there's been huge floods a bit further north where, you know, houses are surrounded by waterfalls and
exactly.
washing away, and the railways.
The guy had a nice new feature in his backyard, a waterfall. Don't know what he was complaining about.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this is not what you always wanted.
He had to walk across a temporary ladder just to get to his front door.
Yeah, it is.
And the railway was completely
derailed.
flooded.
Trains were derailed and everything.
And there was a guy died in his car.
Yeah, it was some kind of a bridge. How do you say? A culvert was built underneath, and that had just collapsed while he was driving over it. He collapsed into it.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's one way of dying.
Yeah. So there's been like you say, there's been a lot of rain. Lately.
Yeah, exactly. Up there, but that is in a part of Sweden where there's typically a lot of rain. So this is not unusual. You know, if it would have happened, it would have happened there. But this was a larger amount than what they could usually deal with, and just kept on going.
Yeah.
And then these things can happen. You know, then floodings happen. It's sad that it can take lives, but people also are building. You know, there's more people on the planet, and they're building houses in more of these kind of places. You know, and
it looks beautiful in the summer, all very picturesque. But then when the weather hits, it's not an ideal.
If you build your house on a slope like this, that's where this guy's house was. That you saw the waterfalls. Then that's what happens.
Yeah, I always said to you, I remember when we were still living in Luxembourg, and we were looking at buying a house. We wanted to get out of the apartment, and I always said to you, I don't want a house on a hill. Because I knew that when it would get snowy, it would get icy, and it would be so treacherous to go up and down. I would never want to have a house right on the side of a hill.
No, or next to a river, you also said.
Yeah, no, not right next to a river, no.
No, these things are, you're asking for it.
Yeah, you absolutely are.
I don't say these people deserve it.
That's your fault.
But I mean, you're taking that risk by putting your house right on a place like that. And it's beautiful, it's stunning.
Yes.
But that's the consequences that can happen.
Yeah, and you see on Homestead Rescue, that series.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have the same problem where they have water that's compromising their foundations because they're made of wood, and then the water is just rotting it away, and then their houses. Yeah.
That build it next to a known flood area. You go, okay. You know. But then you can deal with it. There's engineering that can deal with these kind of things.
Yeah.
Go and see Holland. They've dealt with these things for many decades and centuries, even almost. But that's it's expensive, and of course, if you have a
Exactly.
homestead out in the middle of nowhere, it's a bit hard to get all these kind of types of engineering
Yeah.
material even there.
And if your family is living in that house, you know, if you've got children or
It's
whatever,
scary.
it's very dodgy.
Yeah. No, that's why I was always happy that we wanted to live in the mountains.
Yeah.
I think it's the best place, a bit higher up. You're away from all these types of serious floodings that can happen. This house has been built quite cleverly. It's been built. They built it up.
Yes.
They kind of seem to have leveled it up the way, and with a lot of pipes that run from the house, the drain pipe, the gutters. They are. There's one now that I'm hit as well with the trench digging. That all the way flows all the way to the garden.
It went really far. We even took the end off it.
Yeah.
It went even further.
And then there's then it levels down that way and down the other way, and then we've got a trench here, or ditch,
A
that
ditch.
they dug here.
Yeah.
You've got ditches next to the driveway. So it's a lot you have to think about, especially with this is of course the snow melt now we're thinking about, because that's when you really after the 2 years ago that snow, that big thaw. Wow, that was where we want to have a future garden. That was complete. That was floodplains.
Yeah, it was.
And good to see that, because then okay, when you make your garden there, we should then dig a ditch around that.
Yes, we
So
need
that when
to.
it happens, the snow melt,
Yeah.
it all goes and floods into the main flow, which is very cleverly built. It's built all around the homestead. So it really comes down the driveway, then it goes underneath the driveway, through the pastures that we've made now, around the barn, down the way, and back to where we have the stream, the natural spring there.
Yeah, so if there's not a ridiculous amount of snow, it naturally just follows that same line.
Well, which it did when we had a lot of snow.
But when we had all that snow, and the other thing is that you didn't have so much experience then with clearing the snow. When you were shoving your big piles.
Yeah.
Then we were putting it maybe not in the most ideal location, so then it was all melting all over the area in front of the house.
Yeah, into the chicken coop.
Yes, it got really wet.
There I did good this time, because I knew that was going to happen, so I moved it away from there.
Yeah.
But it made it all muddy and destroyed the grass. I think the grass would have been destroyed anyway, because we drive over it so often on that part. But that definitely destroyed it that year. So you need to come up with some places where you can build culverts, or put the snow in a different place, where it will melt away into ditches, draining areas, whatever.
You have to think about that. That's why it's really good not to build anything on a homestead at least in the first year, so that you can really assess what happens in all of the seasons with the weather.
Yeah.
Where the sun is, where the wind is, where the snow melts, where the rain collects.
Yeah.
It's really important to think about that, because otherwise your building could just be ruined.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think rain is really the worst one you deal with, because things just get wet, or you get wet. It's so hard to then get things dry after that.
Yeah.
If you're in a wet season, the only place is inside by a fire. And
You can't have a fire inside a chicken coop.
Yeah, and like you say, it rots away your houses, your buildings, and yeah, exactly. You can't. I don't know. If you can if you're roasting chickens. That
On a spit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we had. It was nice to start this new channel. It feels good not to have it on the main channel, separated. And we had some people join us straight away, which is really cool. So thanks to those people for joining us straight away.
Yes.
And we had one comment on the last one from Saska. She was saying, because we were talking about the cabin and the taxes here in Sweden. Now, I'm not going to go into the taxes and bore everybody to death with that.
Oh, thank you.
But she is right. They actually take it as a gross amount, because Airbnb takes off a chunk of your money.
15%, yeah.
They're the middleman, and that actually does get taken into account as your income as well. So you have to give the whole amount, even the part that Airbnb takes. Another thing she was talking about was what a lot of people do worry about, because it is, all over YouTube. You watch YouTube, you can't miss the coming market crash. an end of the world scenario. It's also in the mainstream media if you look at that as well, of course. But that's more to do with climate. And if you watch the news, you think that it's impending doom is happening any
Yes.
second
Well,
now.
since the last 20 years.
Yeah, actually since the 70s.
Yeah.
And it was global cooling that they were worried about, funnily enough. But this, this is, a lot of people say that, but it's a bit hard to imagine an entire stock market being wiped out. There have been these crazy crashes and never has a stock market disappeared. Because this is what you were saying. Would you think that it would be a total wipeout or not? Mm-hmm. And it happens a lot on the chat on our investment group as well, that people are talking about it and asking the main guys, Chris and Brad, about that. Mm-hmm. But they always say as well that it's just in what scenario would that really be? Even with world wars, the markets are still going. Perhaps not in a particular country that's affected by this, but there's still always markets going. So you'd really have to have a scenario of, like I was saying, a meteor strike.
Yeah.
Some kind of complete mass extinction event that would wipe out the actual economy.
Yeah.
You're always going back to some kind of trading system.
Yes. Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Back in the days, they also did it on paper, They didn't have the technology that we have now. Mm-hmm. So now, if there was a solar flare that hits out the grid, or that takes out the grid, then yes, you would not have, you would have a major meltdown on this planet. Absolutely.
Because there would be no electronics, no computers would be working, and nobody would be able to trade.
No. So where would the stock market be? But back in the days, like I say, it would happen on paper as well. So eventually that would come back, those kind of things, Yeah, you'd really have to be back in the caveman time, maybe, if there was to be no form of stock market.
Yes.
But the current stock market, as you know, it is sensitive if you think about that, if you think about a solar flare or something hitting. But a tech bubble or something happening again, that would take out those stocks. And yes, the other stocks would go down, most likely, take an initial hit. Yeah. But that they would not all go bankrupt. And like I was saying, there is always there's sectors that are always needed for mankind.
Yes, your oils, your coals.
There's always energy that's needed. There's always food that's needed. So agriculture as well. These things are always needed for human kind to survive.
Precious metals to make technology.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's and that's also for a barter system, precious metals and all that. But it's mainly the energy sectors that keeps you alive. Like gold is not going to keep you alive when you...
No, that's true.
That's maybe for trading, then. But you're talking about food, energy, keeping you warm, keeping lights on, keeping your belly full, and water would be quite useful as well. So these things would never really go to zero, and like I was saying, some stocks, of course, they can always go to zero, absolutely. Certain stocks they will go bankrupt, they will maybe get bought up, like I was saying, and there will be mergers. But a lot of these things also happen when markets are doing well, like now we're on the up for energy sectors, and things are suddenly then starting to get bought up by other bigger companies, and mergers are starting to happen. But the whole sector will not be wiped out, because you always need it. So for a complete collapse of a system to happen, like I was saying, you're looking at a mass extinction event that is more likely probably than what a lot of people think. I was watching something about these meteorites, not the current one, but also the current one, 3I Atlas, that's on its way to pass Earth. And then they found another one of which I forgot the name of, and they're supposed to pass the sun very closely at the same time, which is extremely rare.
Okay.
It's never happened in our history, apparently. So they're really looking at what is this, and also moving at different speeds.
So these
jumpy. They're looking like that doesn't, because normally they wouldn't have just a sun spurt, They would get attracted by the gravity of the sun, and so that's how they get slung back into space at higher speeds. I'm struggling to speak all of a sudden.
So these are not natural phenomena then?
Well, that's what they're saying. That they're looking at those kind of things and wondering, like, why are they suddenly getting bursts of,
Is this
power?
the initial alien interaction that they've been predicting is going to happen?
Even saw somewhere that on the days that they're being closest, that the main systems of, the how do you call these that look out into space? Telescopes are not allowed to watch.
Are not allowed to watch.
Or broadcast it live. I think that was it.
Yeah, then there's something suspicious
but that is
going
just ridiculous.
on. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true or if it's just a YouTube thing.
Yeah, don't believe everything you see on
I was
YouTube.
like, okay, but if that is that blatant, then they're
hiding something.
Yeah, of course. Or they're trying to confuse you with this because then it's too blatant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know they think we're stupid, but that is really so blatant that you're like, they're trying to scare you of something on purpose. It's a bit like this Charlie Kirk, which we haven't talked about yet. What? You don't want to talk about it? I'm not going to go into depth about it.
Okay, I don't have anything to say about it.
You don't have to say anything. You just sit there and look pretty and pregnant.
Okay.
Now that's a bit of it's important to touch upon because it's a major happening now in the world, and it's almost brought or bringing America close on the brink of civil war. Because the country is so divided, and not just America, the whole world is divided in such a way that people are completely blind to remembering that we're all just the same, and we're all the same beings coming from the same place, and we're all born without beliefs, and we're all born with a birthday suit, and it's really horrendous to see how people have reacted to the death of a guy that was just out there speaking his mind. When I saw what he was talking about, you could not see hatred in what he was saying. He was trying to more talk about facts, and if people could disprove him, then good. But he really went there and would sit down and say that, see if you can disprove me or disprove what I'm saying, and then talk about it. I think that's good. And he got killed for it. Now, by who he got killed, they're saying is this again, lone deranged gunman who was on the roof, shot him with a rifle, then disassembled this rifle, put it in his bag. You can see him then jump off the security camera, jump off the building. He then went into the woods. He then reassembled this rifle and dumped his rifle in the woods. And that's how they found it. So you're supposed to believe that as well. Then wrote a message completely owning up to the whole thing to his transgender boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know what stage of trans it was, she was. Sorry. Don't mean to offend anybody by what they want to be. But it was all a bit way too straightforward. And what is the consequence is that, people on what they call the left, or some people, quite a lot of people, were celebrating the death of this guy.
Yeah.
Which was so shocking to see that you can go out there and be on the net and just go like, yeah, he's dead, putting music over it, and from a guy that had kids and a wife and never hurt anybody, never killed anybody. He was not the next Hitler or something.
He wasn't hurting anybody. He was just speaking his mind.
So these people that have been doing that have been getting fired from their jobs and all that, and are now saying, like, a lot of them going like, I was only saying what was on my mind. It's like, well, the guy was doing the same. It's I feel in a way I feel a bit bad as well. These people are in a way a bit right that they're getting fired from their job. It's like, hey, I was speaking my mind online on there should be free speech. Yeah, true. Look, you didn't go to jail for it, so you had free speech, but you are employed by somebody and kind of representing that company in a way, even if you're not working, And that company decided to, terminate your contract. And I was thinking, like, that's pretty sweet in our situation that we are no longer...
We're not affiliated with
any company that can fire us.
Yeah.
Because I can just say what I want, And of course there can be consequences if I go out there and say absolutely crazy things.
Yeah.
In my social life, or perhaps I do say something incriminating,
I remember. I remember that from working in big companies, that they would say, anything that you would say would not be a reflection of what the company believes. There would always have to be this separation between your opinion and the opinion of the company that you work for, just to make sure that nobody would misunderstand and take it the wrong way and blah, blah, blah. So that's what these companies are doing as well. Then they're protecting themselves to show that they're not of the same opinion as what these people were thinking.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy if you go out there and celebrate somebody's death.
So sad.
It was pretty hard to see. And now the consequence, like I was just wanted to say, is that already we're in a cycle where things are going towards state of civil war. There's been other professor or some kind of professor that was talking about that as well in the UK, that all signs are pointing towards people that have studied cycles in human history that come towards the moment of the brink of civil war, is that these societies are showing the same signs that we are near that. And it's so sad to see that people completely lose their mind and don't sit down for a second and think about what I'm about to post, what I'm about to say is going out online. Maybe I should think about it before I do something like this, and just go out and do something that you'll probably regret for the rest of your life, because you look like an effing idiot.
Yeah.
You look absolutely ridiculous. It is in no way in human nature to start celebrating people's death.
Nope.
It's quite sickening, and I think if those people would think about it beforehand as well, they would probably come to the same conclusion. But there is no thinking going on. There's no feelings going on.
No, if it was somebody they knew, a friend of a family member, then the situation would be quite different.
And imagine then other people celebrating their death.
Yeah,
a friend or
they
family.
wouldn't be very happy, would they?
Goodness me. So this world, it's no better time right now to come together instead of having this division, because this is what really is the plan, of course. It's divide and conquer. And it's so easy, apparently. People are so easily tricked and fooled into reacting so quickly, directly, without first taking a step back and saying, let's look at who is benefiting from this before we start to shoot each other, shout at each other, hit each other, steal from each other, rob, because that's, of course, also these riots and other things that happen. People that are protesting whatever, they're also robbing stores.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with your protest.
Yeah, they call it a peaceful protest.
It's another funny word is civil war. There's nothing civil about it.
Yeah, that's a good point, fighting for freedom. Come on.
Yeah, it's so... so I did want to touch upon that before... because there's not much else I'm going to say about it, can say about it now. I haven't looked more into it and who did what. But the certain reason of why, I can tell you, it is this division that they want. By they, I mean, of course, the people that do have the power to direct our attention to what goes on in the media, who own the media companies and big businesses like this. And they can say what you see on television and what goes on, and they certainly have the power to direct the narration of these.
Well, it's so true. I mean, like you say, divide and conquer. I mean, back in the days, there was a man and a woman, he, she.
Yeah.
Woman gives birth, blah, blah, blah. And now they've divided everybody. And they've got this and that and he and she and it and they, and that's another way that they've divided the population.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, totally understand if you are feeling your sexual orientation is towards somebody else, then, or your same gender or whatever, then absolutely go for it.
But you're still a man.
You should be allowed to do what you want to do. If you were born as a man and you want to dress up as a woman later, that's also fine for me. I absolutely don't care. And I think that, but before you start to do, sex changes, perhaps you should, get a second opinion of somebody who can maybe help you. Like, why are you doing this?
Psychologically.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But if you are having, you're a guy and you're in love with a guy, then all the more power to you. please go
Be
and do
happy.
with this guy what you want. Yeah, absolutely. And they should have, everybody that's born on this planet should have the same rights, of course, you know. But what you are saying, and the point that you're trying to touch upon, is that we are already born as he and she. Then we start to identify as our names, you know. Then suddenly you're Caroline and I'm Vincent. I'm no longer just a baby and a baby girl and a baby boy. And then you start to identify as Asian or African. Then you start to identify as, I'm now a carpenter or I'm an accountant. Yeah. So you start to put yourself in a more narrow field of, identification.
Yeah.
And kind of forgetting who you really are. Where did you come from? That is what's happening. And that's the same what you're saying with the LGBTQ plus community that is getting forever longer and longer. And got, I think, the whole alphabet in it these days, if you ask some universities. You are again identifying yourself again and separating yourself more and more from the society, perhaps in a way, but mainly from who you really are. And forgetting that we're all just the same consciousness and on this planet as one. Part of the same ocean of consciousness, just droplets in that water, and sometimes you jump out, the droplets comes out, but eventually you will return back to that ocean. And it is a shame that we go through this life thinking that we are so different from each other, and a lot of the time hating each other for it.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like.
No.
Just because somebody's different, it doesn't mean that you have to hate them.
Exactly. That's great. Okay, people can hate you, but don't do anything about it. Whatever, It's like, don't do unto others what you don't want done to yourself. It is as simple as that.
Yeah.
So like I say, I don't care if a guy goes and does whatever he wants to his body, but don't start saying, and now the rules need to be changed that he can also go into, I don't know, women's bathrooms.
Yeah, women's sports or
children's bathrooms even, which it got to that crazy stage where, that's just, you're a creep. Sorry. You're a guy in a dress and you're a creep now at this stage, you know? But if you want to be a guy in a dress and walk the streets like that, I don't care. Go for it, Absolutely. If that makes you feel better, I'm happy for you that you felt a way to be happy in your life,
But then just not tell everybody else that that's what they need to do.
No.
Or rub it in their faces.
And change laws and...
Yeah.
I don't know what... That is one part I'm also a bit confused about, is that they're saying that they have no transgender rights, or I think in America now there's also talk about that they've taken away their access to healthcare, which I'm a bit confused about. Maybe somebody can tell me and guide me that towards this, because I'm not entirely sure how that person has lost his or her entire healthcare.
I haven't heard anything about that. That's
Maybe they mean that they're losing the access to their gender, what you call them, changing chemicals or drugs that they need to transition.
Yeah, like
maybe
their
that's what they're
hormones.
talking about, exactly, that kind of stuff. But that they've lost the right to healthcare, I'd be very, very
Well,
surprised.
I wouldn't expect the healthcare system to pay for something like a gender change.
No, I think if you want that, you should do it yourself, right?
Yeah. That would be nuts.
Well, I think that's what they were doing. And I think that's what they probably mean then.
Okay.
But I think if you're saying that you've lost your access, your right to healthcare, you're talking about something else. You're talking about your right that if you're ill, that you can go to a doctor and get compensated for that.
Need to look into that now.
Yeah, it's a big, bold statement. Because then you are being segregated from your society, which I don't think they are.
No.
I think that is their gender reaffirming drugs or whatever they need. That's, I think, what's not being compensated for then.
Which is fair enough.
But, I could be wrong. Yeah, I think so, but that's... Yeah, it's a tough subject these days, because people are so sensitive about it.
So sensitive.
It's all over. It's all in your face the whole time.
That's it.
From a very, very small minority of the population that needs to have it in your face all the time.
But that's it. You really hit it there. People are so sensitive these days.
Yeah.
You know, if you say something the wrong way, then they parade it all over the internet. Ah, you said this, you said that, you call me this, you call me that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very... they completely break down and melt down over
Yeah.
it. And
there's not so many real men like you left anymore.
Yay. If I'm a real man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
Real men things, and don't cry about it, and
No,
get on with
I'd
it.
like to think I'm still sensitive as well, but...
Yeah, but not in the way that society is going these days.
No, the society is... That's... I take it easy. GoPro saying goodbye.
Yeah. My battery's died. My battery's died. Oh, my battery's dead.
Yeah, the sensitivity. Well, there's so names like snowflakes for it.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Even
melting,
names for it.
Melting on the spot. It's really coming from that. I saw a video the other day about somebody talking about what you call a gentle upbringing or
Gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting.
Yeah.
Where you're not allowed to raise your voice and you should all the time talk like this to your child and nice. And then when you see how these children behave, they just hit their parents and the parents going like,
out of control.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Yeah.
And you're going like, geez, if my kid hits me, you know.
Yeah.
And she doesn't do that anymore because we nipped that in the bud from the beginning. Like, no, you don't hit. Like, we don't hit our child either. So she knows
exactly,
you know, not to do that.
But we see it with a very stern,
voice.
louder than normal voice, shall we say.
Absolutely. Goodness me, it's terrible behavior. And it has to be straight away like, hey, you do not hit your sister.
Yeah.
You will now go on the naughty spot. Or if you do it again, you go on the naughty spot. So next time they do it straight on the naughty spot, you know. And there's ways to do it, but this gentle parenting, it's really creating not only this very crazy outburst in children, because you see them, they can melt over something so normal that happens to anybody. But they also will not be able to react or deal with people raising their voice to them in the future.
Yeah.
Because that will be like, that's had never happened. Nobody's ever spoken to me like this.
Yeah.
And they're not really being
prepared for adult life, so to speak.
For reality.
I mean, reality.
Whether you like it or not, there are people out there that are going to raise their voice to you in the future.
Yes.
And they're not going to talk so nicely to you. And you're probably going to end up at some kind of job, workplace. Where, you know. And if you don't want that, sure, you can find a workplace. I'm sure we're all very kind and gentle with you. Mm-hmm. But there's, you can't avoid that for the rest of your life. It's just going to happen, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And you can't call the police because somebody raised their voice to you. But it's happening more and more. It seems that people feel that the state needs to do something, and that's then coming to the nanny state, where the people feel that everything should be taken care of by the state. I think that's where we're going to that with the story.
We were talking about sensitive people.
People being so sensitive, and that's another thing, why people are so sensitive. Because they do get everything that they want from the state without having to do much for it. And I think that's also another thing, that they just feel,
they're due it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're owed something.
Yeah, they're owed it,
Yeah, which...
It's not the way it works.
Not the way it works. Sometimes you just need to work for stuff that you. If you want something, work for it. Don't go saying, "Oh, you owe me this because I don't know, something happened to me, it happened to my grandparents." Yeah, that's crazy. This is your life now. Own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the real man. Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd have to say what a real man is, really. I don't know what a real man is, but I certainly would say that a real man in my eyes is somebody that can take care of his family. Mm-hmm. If he has a family. If he doesn't, that can take care of himself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if that means that he likes to cook or not, or because that's also becoming more normal, I think, these days.
Definitely.
Guys cooking.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to take care of, just that you can take care of your own life, you know, that you're not ending up somewhere where you
Just
have to
dependent on handouts.
beg somebody or the state or whatever to give you things that you need. I think that's a bit more a man that if his wife or girlfriend says that they want to have children and stay at home and take care of those children, then they feel like absolutely that's what we should do instead of both parents working, because you know the children also need to be taken care of and looked after. I think that's. But more and more women feel that they feel the need to go out there and work, and that is something that they would enjoy doing. I think they would enjoy a lot more being at home with their kids. Although not all the time.
It's easier said than done sometimes.
Fair enough, of course. It's just that I understand their feeling that maybe they miss out on their careers.
Yeah,
you
or
know.
the social aspect of it, or it's maybe because they need it financially.
Yeah.
You know, they can't support their family with just one income.
Now that's for sure. I understand that. But
Yeah.
I mean, let's take away the need, the financial need,
Okay.
which yes, society has been pushed towards that there is now a need for that. I understand, but they're also being brought up, these girls nowadays, to think that that's what they want. They don't want to have children because they want to have a career.
Yeah.
I think that working for some soulless company for people that you've never met, that you're going to make money for, that you'll never see yourself, is way less rewarding than bringing up a family.
Well, absolutely.
I mean, I can say that from experience now, now that we have a family.
Yeah.
But of course, do what you want. It's just, to me, that sounds crazy. I understand, but just saying this is how they are brought up now. They're made to think this from the start. Very exhausted.
Podcast over.